Hello everyone, this is Bead Beauty and welcome to another bead bag tutorial. Please subscribe to my channel and turn on your notification for any new video. So with this design, I choose this pearl and this brown bead, 6mm brown bead. Pearl is in 12mm, but you can choose your own bead and colors. So here I put the brown bead 3 on the line, and in between I put the pearls. So we are going to use another pearl and cross our line into it. You cross the line into it. This is how it's looking like. So on each line is brown and a pearl, and we are going to cross again into the brown bead. To cross it into brown bead. Now on each line I'm going to drop 2 brown beads on each line. 2. I'm going to drop 2 brown bead. And I'm going to cross it with a brown bead to make a little circle. Just like that, to make a little circle. I'm going to draw pearl on each line. I'm going to draw pearl on each line and a brown bead. Pearl first, then you drop brown bead on each line and you cross it with a pearl. Now next I'm going to drop brown bead on each line, brown and a pearl. You pick a brown first and a pearl and cross it with the brown bead. Just like so. So here you see the circle that we made. We are going to repeat the same thing on that bead. So I'm going to drop 2 bead on the line and cross it with another brown bead to make the same circle. It's just a pattern repetition that we are making. So here is how it's looking like. First we have this, the circle. We repeat the same design and another circle. So we are going to repeat the same thing we did. A pearl and a brown bead. Then we are going to cross it with a pearl. And now we are going to pick brown and a pearl and cross it with the brown bead. It's a pattern you have to follow and repeat the pattern. So we start, then we have the circle in the middle, the same pattern we repeat. And now we have the same pattern. We are going to repeat the same circle at the end. So I'm going to drop 2 brown bead on each line and cross it with a brown bead. Just like that. And this is how it's looking like. This is the design we are making. It's a sunflower design. So you're going to continue the length that you want. you continue and make that length and turn. So I'm going to teach you how to turn. Okay, now I'm about to turn to the side, and now I drop 2 beads on the right line and the left 3, brown, pearl, brown, and here brown, pearl, and I'm crossing it through the pearl. Just follow the pattern and you're gonna get it. So we turn our line to the side and we are going to continue to weave. So the last, this is what we start with, and this is what we are turning on. Okay, I put 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3 brown beads and 2 pearls in between, and I'm going to cross the line into the brown bead. Just like that, and pull. Now with the line, I'm going to go through the brown bead, the 2 brown bead,
a little bit up there,
like that. And on the next line, I'm going to add 3 brown bead. 3 to complete the circle.
8.
To complete that circle. Now I'll be going through the pearl and that brown bead, 1 into 1 brown bead over there. On that line, I'm going to add a pearl, brown bead, and I'm going to cross it with a pearl. Just like that. I'll go to the next brown bead and into the pearl. The next brown bead that is left in between, I'm going through it and I'm going through the pearl. So what I'm going to add, 1 brown bead, a pearl, and a brown bead, and I'm going to cross my line into the brown. Now I'm going to go through the 2 bead, brown bead over there. Go to the 2 brown bead, and I'm going to add 3 on the other line to complete the circle. Now into the pearl and 1 brown bead on the other side, that one. 1 brown bead. I'm going to add a pearl, brown bead, and cross it with a pearl. I'm going to cross it with a pearl. Into the brown bead and the pearl. So I'm picking 2 and adding 3. Add brown, pearl, and cross it with the brown bead. Now I'm going to pick the 2 browns and I'm adding 3 on the other line to complete that circle. Just like that. It's just a repetition. You have to continue to do the same thing to repeat it. That's where you get the flower design beautifully. So now I'm at the end going to complete the second row, and my line is in the pearl, the last pearl. So I'm adding brown bead on that line. Add brown bead, pearl, brown, and pearl. Cross the line through the pearl, just like that. Let me turn it this way for you to see. Okay, now go through one brown bead over there. Let's pick out that brown bead, not the two but one. So now your line is in the pearl and one brown bead. So on the other line, over here I want to add crystals. Instead of pearls, I'm going to be using crystals to continue, because I want the pearls to be on both sides so that the crystals will be in the middle. So I'm adding the brown bead, crystal, and I'm going to cross it through into the brown bead. And the crystal. So I took brown, crystal, brown, and a crystal, and I cross it in a crystal bead. Go through that and the pearl. So instead of pearl, I'm picking crystal bead instead. Just a little design. You can mix your bead different colors the way you, but it's the same design, the same weave that we are doing. Nothing changed. On that line, add brown bead, crystal, and a brown bead, and cross your line into the brown bead. Just like that. Now I'm going to go through the two brown bead. Go through the two. And on the other line, I'm going to add three brown beads to complete the circle. Like that. Now into the pearl and one brown bead. Into that pearl, and I'm going to go through one brown bead. There. Now on the other line, I'm adding a crystal, brown bead, and crystal. I'm going to cross the line through the crystal bead. The line will go through the next brown bead and that pearl. And that pearl right there. So adding brown bead and pick up a crystal and cross it in a brown bead. I'm going to go through the two bead and add 3 brown to complete that circle.
What I'm going to add is
adding 3 browns to complete the circle. This is how you are going to continue. Go back and forth until you have your length that you want. So this is how it's looking like. You continue to the end. Okay, now I'm coming to the end of this row. I'm in a pearl and I've added 3 on the other line. If you follow the pattern, you're gonna get it. So I'm going through that brown bead at the edge, and I'm going to add 4 brown beads to make the 6, because the circle takes 6 bead. So the line is in 2. I'm going to add 4. I'm going to add 4 to the line, 4 bead. Cross it into the last 4 because it's 6. Like that. Now go through the crystal bead, and I'm going to add crystal, add a brown bead and a crystal and a brown bead, and I'm going to cross it through the brown bead. And now what I have to do is to go through those 2 and add 3 to complete the circle. Just like that. This is how we are going to continue to weave until we get the desired length that we want. So right now I pick up brown crystal until you come to the end. So now I'm in the last end of this row. I have 3 at the end. I'm going to pick up that 2 bead, go through that 2 bead with the line and add 3 brown beads to complete that circle at the edge. This is how it's looking like. The same design, the same weave. And now go through the crystal with the line. And on the other line, you add crystal, brown bead, and crystal. Then you add a brown bead. Because the line is in 2, you need 4 to complete that 6. I add crystal, brown bead, crystal, and I cross it into the brown bead. So this is how we are going to continue to weave and complete it. So here I'm just going to continue with the pearl on the other end. Going to do the same design over here on the other side. So I'm starting with a pearl again. Now I'm done with the crystal, so I need the edge, the same design at the edge. So now I want to do the same design with the pearl. Now I'm going through those 2 to complete the circle at the end. I'm going to continue with the pearl and complete it and have the same edge that I have from the beginning. But first I want to show you the design, how it's looking like. This is the flower design, like a flower has a petals. This is the design that we are weaving. Very beautiful design. Sunflower, a sunflower design. This is how it's looking like. Very beautiful design, very beautiful. See how it's looking like. So now I'm done So what I have to do is to fold it and completely fold it into two, and now we are going to complete the side of the bag. Now I have my line. I'm going to add one brown bead on the line and go through those two beads. Those two beads at the edge, I'm going to go through it like that. Put both lines through it. Now what I'm going to do is to add one brown bead to complete that circle. Go through the pearl, only the pearl. Now go through the pearl. And cross it with the brown bead. Cross your line into the brown bead. Now put your line through those two beads on the side. Those two beads over there. Put a line through them. There. Now my line is here. I'm going to cross both ends into the brown bead. Go through the pearl and one brown bead. Both pearl and one brown bead on the side. Going through the pearl, and I'm picking one bead, one brown bead over there. Here's the first one. On the other line, I'm going through the pearl and I'm picking one brown bead there and pull tight. What I'm going to add is a pearl. I'm going to add pearl to it. And pull. Now the next brown bead, I'm going to put the line through it. Go through the next brown bead there into the pearl. Now go through the pearl. The other line too, you go through the next brown bead and go through the pearl. What I'm going to do is to cross it with the brown bead. Just like that. Now pick up those two beads on each line with the line. Go through those two beads. I go through the beads and I'm going to pick up a brown bead and cross my line into the brown bead. Now into the pearl and one brown bead. Now go through the pearl. And go through one brown bead. Just like that. Pearl, one brown bead, pearl, one brown bead. Then we are going to cross it with a pearl. Cross it with a pearl. going to go through the next brown bead there into the pearl, the other side to the next brown bead and into the pearl, and cross it with a brown bead. Now go through the next two brown bead at the end there, the next line to the next two brown bead, and we are going to cross it with the brown bead to complete the circle. I'm going to complete it with the brown bead. So over here, we just pull and weave the rest of the line into the bead. Look at how the flower is looking beautiful. We complete the flowers, each flower round, round, round on the side with the pearl. It looks so beautiful. Look at how it is. So this is how one side is completed. We are going to complete the second side too. The same way we did, the same way you're going to complete the second side. Right here, I'm just weaving the rest of the line into the bead. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit that notification button for any new video. This is how it looks like. This is the bag. We complete both sides with the pearl. And this is the inside. This is how the inside look like. You just need a liner and a zip. You complete the bag. Look at how pretty it looks. This is the handle I made for the bag, and we are going to attach it to the bag. So I just make it the way we weave the bag. I start with the same. I'm adding two brown beads on each line. Two brown beads on each line. And I'm going to cross both lines into the edge bead. Into the edge brown bead. Just right there. I'm going to cross the line into the brown bead. Cross it the opposite way. There. And pull and pull tight. So I'm pulling it, and I'm weaving the rest of the line into the bead. Make sure you weave and weave tight, and make sure it's neat and clean. Weave until you feel it's well secured enough. So this is the second handle, and I'm about to attach. I'm putting line on the edge bead, and I'm going to add two brown beads on each line like I did for the first one. And we are going to do the same thing we did like how we attached the first one. We are going to do the same thing on this side too. You cross it into the edge bead and weave the rest of the line into the bag. The same way we are going to do. So I'm just going to cross it in the edge bead. This is how it's looking like. Our bag is done. Bag is completely done. If you want to know how I did the handle, I'm going to show you right away. So this is how we start weaving the bag. So this is how we started. I started with crystal. I'm going to add two brown beads and 2 crystals and cross it in a crystal bead. Two crystals, and I'm going to cross it with the brown bead. The same way we start the bag, the same weave I use for the handle too. So now I'm putting the brown bead on each line. Two brown bead, and I'm going to cross it with a brown bead to make the circle. Just like that. I'm going to continue with the pearl. Add 2 pearl on each line, 2 brown bead on each line, 1 brown bead and another brown bead. Then you're going to cross it with the pearl. Just like that. Add a brown bead, 2 brown bead on each side and cross it. Put pearl, add a pearl on each side and cross it with a brown bead. So here I'm going to add, this is how it is looking like. So here I'm going to add 2 brown bead on each line and cross it with another brown to complete that circle. The same way we started the bag, the same design I start with the handle too. I'm going to cross it. Over here, I put both lines together. I put both lines together and I'm going to put the pearls on the line. I'm just stacking the pearls on the line. I stack the pearl like 10 pearls. This is how it looks like. I'm going to open the line again and add 2 beads on each side, 2 brown beads on each side, and cross it with another brown bead. So right here I'm just crossing my line through the brown bead. And please don't forget to subscribe. Okay, so the same way we start from there, that is how we are going to complete the handle, and that is how I achieve the handle. That's how we do it. And this is the bag. We complete our bag. Please don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification for any new video. Thanks for watching.